Hello. Red is live. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Oh, just a sec. How's everybody doing? I'm going to do something. I'm going to share out my live and stuff. I'm going live over on Facebook today. Just for now. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it all the time, but so I hope everybody's well. Hit the thumbs up for me on the way in. Let me share this out. All right. Okay, I'm live. And let me turn on subscribers only. Y'all, it's been interesting. The more I am let me see. How many minutes will I put it on? I think I'll put it on, how about 25 minutes? That just means only subscribers who've been subscribed for at least 25 minutes can chat in the chat. That's all that means. Let's light the candle. We're going to pray. It's my pumpkin candle. Isn't it pretty? It smells good. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let me. Is that my flute? Is it Roy? I'm glad you're here, Roy. I'm glad you're not mad at me. Thank you for being here. Do you want to come up on panel? If you're not comfortable, I can pray first, and then you can come up on panel. I'm glad you're here. I've gotten some of my other mega followers mad. I mean, I don't think I was rude to them, but anyways. But yeah. I got some of my mega followers mad. I got some of my Trump supporters mad. So, but Yeah. So, and some of them I had to block, but I'm in a back and forth with um so my this is hard to explain because my right after I separated from my husband in 2014. Yeah, I just hope I wasn't rude or anything. Somebody got mad about that live. One of my followers was mad about that live that I made the comment about um, Donald Trump from the other election, from the comment about grabbing women by the genital. And so this person that was mad, that was in my chat pretending to be supportive of me, then said in my chat that I was talking about female genitalia in my devotions. So she is now blocked. And I'm like, really? She tried to accuse me, and it was because of the live from last Wednesday where you were there, and I mentioned that. And so she started saying that I was talking about female genitalia in my Bible devotions, and that was really upsetting. So, okay, what you cooking? What are you cooking? I have to decide what I'm gonna make on. I have some pork chops. I'll probably grill some pork chops on, or some chicken. I do have chicken for Friday's dinner with Red. Hi, Betty. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you. Yeah, two of the people I had as moderators too. So I'm glad to see moderators here. Um, yeah, but I put it on subscribers only for, I guess, 25 minutes. But yeah, so they usually come to me, and even uh, Linda, my friend Linda, that I know from van life. You know, I've actually never met Linda in person, because kind of Linda kind of went in my place when the things with the bullies came up, and I had suggested a handicapped person that was not really in van life, but anyways, he was involved in that community. They were trying to fix him up a van, but anyways, when a handicapped person, I said, I was, Roy knows, I was involved with a handicapped person. I was thankful to Linda because she went and helped him at courtside, because I didn't go to courtside because of the bullies. So, oh, that's okay. Anyways, at least people will see that there's a moderator, and maybe that will scare the trolls off. I can make Roy a moderator again. Sometimes if people aren't around for a while, then I unmoderate them, but then I'll remoderate them. But anyways, yeah. So it's been rough. So this person, Linda, sort of helped me out. I felt like I was glad she did that. But anyways, I knew she was, and like she was always calling me, and it's like I don't have time to talk on the phone that long, and I kind of knew. And it's funny, you guys, I wasn't talking about it. I wasn't saying anything, I knew, and I don't like to argue with people, and I like the peace. And so that's why this has been hard, but for me to speak up on this. This has been hard for me to speak up on this, but I'm happy I did. And I feel like more authentic, and I'm being like real. And it's funny that these people that I kind of knew, because they're really more outspoken than usually than the Democrats are. MAGA people are usually very outspoken. And so, and Linda kept wanting to travel with me, and I didn't go see her when I finally did go to courtside. And when I went to courtside, she didn't go to courtside. So I never met her in person. But like, we've talked on the phone several times. She had things with the same people that were bullying me, which is what we had in common. She had issues with them. But now she hates me because I spoke up about her. She posted a video on a thing on her TikTok that came across my feed. And in that case with her, I said something. I'm like, this is false. So we went back and forth and back and forth. And I said, I didn't even know, because she posted the false video of Kamala Harris shutting down the hecklers. And the other side, the MAGA side, is putting around this false narrative. Again, another false narrative, another lie. Like, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they've taken over Aurora. I live in Denver, they haven't taken over Aurora. It's just all these lies. I call them mega lies. I'm sorry, but yeah. Sorry, not sorry. That's what they are, mega lies. So the lie is that the hecklers were saying Jesus is Lord. And that's not what they were saying. And so I posted the whole clip, and I tagged her on my community tab too. And so now we're back and forth because she's my friend on Facebook, and she wrote a big, long, ugly post and tagged me and also said I was blocked. And I'm like, and she may have blocked me on YouTube, but if, she can still watch. Linda, I love you. I'm praying for you. But, and I don't have her blocked on YouTube, actually. Yeah, that's right. And that's what they have. They seem to have, I watch actual video clips, on the news, any news. I mean, I'll watch Fox News sometimes a little. My friend at Coda, and she watches me. Hi, Dana. I hope you're watching. She watches me. She said, but she hasn't made a YouTube. She's like, I can't subscribe. And I'm like, I think you need to make a YouTube, you need to make a YouTube profile. But she watches me on the TV. So she's like, you going to talk about politics? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to talk about politics. I'm getting more views now, you guys, actually. So I'm like, oh, well, okay, this is good for me. I'm being my authentic self, and I'm getting more views. So it's a win-win situation. But I'm in this thing with Linda, and Linda tagged me in this post, and it was just very, very rude, very mean. And then she said that I was blocked. And it's like, no, I'm not blocked on Facebook if you can tag me in a post. No, I'm not, but could you be wrong about something else? Maybe. But anyways, fish and taters, that sounds good. But anyways, and then there's this guy who was I think the best friend, the very good friend, a best friend of my brother-in-law, who was my ex's brother, and he passed away in 2014, like right after we separated. It was kind of so awkward because we didn't say anything to them at first, and they put us in the same room, like we always do when we went down there for the funeral. But anyways, it's someone I met in Florida who is or was the best friend of my brother-in-law, Dave. And he's big, MAGA person. And I actually unfollowed him on Instagram. He's still following me. He'll say that thing, follow back, because I just couldn't stand it. And he has Trump on with his hand up, after, possibly the ketchup on his ear, hit the thing, and the blood, there's a blood. And he's got that on his as his profile picture. And he came to my page on Facebook, because I was still friends with him on Facebook, and put the same meme about them saying Jesus is Lord, and you're at the wrong rally, and it was like a cartoon that someone did, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. And thankfully, one of my followers, because I have a diversity of followers, I have followers from Georgia, from back there in Georgia, from when I was in the cult before Trump came on the scene. See, I was in the cult. I was in Christian nationalism, and we're pro-life, and we're gonna vote, and we're gonna, and James Dobson, and I listen to James Dobson all the time. I used to get the magazine. They had a Citizen magazine. All those people, and my mom was on the left, California Democrat, I think all her life. I think Democrat all her life. My dad used to be Republican. They used to cancel each other out. My sister would laugh about that, like in the 70s. Ha 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 ha. I don't know. I wish I knew now. What, because my dad really wasn't. My dad's very misogynistic. He was a narcissist. And I think he's really kind of a go with the flow. And I think really it's just because he was in the liberal Presbyterian church with women leaders and all that. But he really was misogynistic and narcissistic. But he switched over, and it might have been, but I don't know. Don't quote me on this. Maybe I could ask my sister one day. But it might have been because of Nixon. It might have been because of Nixon, but I'm not sure. But she got him to her side. So yeah. So they were liberal and I was Republican. So yeah, so Frank came at me, Frank in Florida, on my page, and so we were going back and forth a little bit. And he seems to think Trump is going to win. I hope not. Nixon was a flake. Yeah. I watched a whole interesting thing on Johnny Cash and Nixon. It was really interesting. But I don't know if it was because of that, but I wonder what it was that convinced my dad. But they used to cancel each other out. I remember my sister joking about it. They cancel each other out. She loved that. But it's annoying to me, and it's really a lame talking point or complaining point that they're using this fake meme that the hecklers were saying Jesus is Lord because of the Swift, the classy Swift. She is on her feet. She's smart. She's going to do a good job, you guys. She convicts felons. She's not a felon. She convicts felons. She's put away sexual assaulters and murderers and all that. She's had her life threatened. She's tough too. She's like, I won't respond to fear. Like, this was probably the first time I ever listened to Howard Stern. I wouldn't listen. Like when I was a Republican, that's what like my two characters, and now I let the video be buried of me. My first, and I realized, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's my debut as Southern Red. My Southern Red debut was in 2020. I'll post a link in the chat. Was y'all know Georgia's gone blue. Y'all don't need to get all so upset. Y'all just need to have yourself some banana pudding and some sweet tea, and y'all need to just give that to the Lord. I'm hoping Georgia's going to go blue again. I am so excited. Thank you. Thank you, Betty. And thank you, Chris. Hey, Crystal's here. Yay. Hi, Crystal. Yeah, if any of you want to come up, yeah, Crystal can come up. Like, I know Crystal's not going to be, I'm not saying they're all the same, but I'm like, I've had some mean ones disown me now. Well, they didn't disown me, but they were nasty, undermining me in my live. Calling me, what do you have against immigrants? And it's like, nobody else in the chat thought I had anything against immigrants. They were listening to what I was saying. I had something against racist and misogyny, like my brother's things on his computer that he made me look at. He could have been kind and kindly taken those things off his computer, because I'm sitting at the kitchen table. I'm sitting at the kitchen table. Oh gosh, all our medicines. It was so hard. Sorting out his wife's medication, and she's dying, she's home on hospice care. And I have to look at this Trump crap flashing, and he's mad because Trump lost. Well, maybe not according to him, Trump lost. I don't know. But anyways. Yes, it would be boring. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. But yeah, but it's been I'm developing a very tough skin. I'm getting better. And today is Coda Day. I go to Coda on Wednesdays at noon. And I feel like it's very helpful. I like it. So, but it was just really too much for me. I mean, it was really uh, astonishing that this person said this. This follower said this in my chat. Said that I said a nasty word in my devote, and I just like I couldn't even process what it was, and I blocked her. I mean, like, you're not gonna come in here and do that. Like, I don't take that. I used to take that crap anymore. I feel like, you guys, that's what made me a target for the bullies. And really, both the bullies videos, one a live stream and then the other one a video, they were up for 2 years. They should not have been. I should have called them out on my channel and said their names and told them to take it down. I should have done that sooner. But, and that's what I've learned from it. Yeah, just to call it out, be honest, stand up for yourself. That's what I've learned. And that's like, in the past, I might have been, oh, I'm sorry, and she emailed me and finally explained, and she tried to say too that Glenn, because we didn't know what word she meant. Like, me and Brenda Burner were like, what does she mean by cat? I said cat in the devotion. And I was coming for scripture. And then she was lying, and she was like, it wasn't even about a devotion. She doesn't even watch the devotions. It was about the live with Roy last, and she got on to me about how I spoke to you, Roy. And I was just like, okay, well, you're mad? You weren't even there. And Roy's not mad. Roy's here. And then you have to lie and say I said something and not say I was talking about Trump, and say it was in the devotion to make it even look worse. And now, being, I don't know what the, you have to go because you're here with your son. And Okay. All right. Thanks. Thanks for popping in, Crystal. Thanks for popping in. Um, so anyways, it was really, really, speaking of rude. It was really rude of this person. So I blocked them, and I'm not sorry because, you got some nerve. I mean, if you don't like, and she said at the beginning of the live, she was like, what is this thought? She didn't want me to talk about politics. It was making her uncomfortable. And then she didn't like me to say, when someone says they're not voting, for me to say that's not right. Hi, Brenda. Hello. Yeah, and she at the beginning of the live, right? She says, what's the subject? And I said, I'm probably going to talk about politics again. And then she said she was leaving, but she proceeded to stay because she wanted to attack me and say I said the bad word on my devotional. So it was really unacceptable. And sorry. But let's pray. Let's pray. I should have prayed already. Let's pray. Dear Lord, please help me. Help me to be kind. Help me to be patient. Help me to be understanding, Lord. I want to be able to talk with people, Lord. Please let people be informed. Please let people really consider what they're doing, and really, really research and really pray, Lord. Please help us all pray about who we're voting for, and please help us all to vote. And I pray for those who have left my channel, Lord, and I pray that you'll be with them. I pray that you'll bless them. I do pray for them to be more informed and consider if they might have said something wrong, or, I just pray that you would open up their eyes, Lord. If they could see that they were being hurtful to me. That's my alarm to pray for my kids. Yeah. Thanks, Brenda. I really appreciate your support too. I pray for my kids, Lord. I pray that you be with them and watch over them and protect them. I pray that they would know that you are real, that you love them. And my grandkids, and thank you for them. For Freya and Lily and Noah, I pray that you would bless them, watch over them, help their parents to take good care of them. And thank you that I'm going to see my daughter at Christmas. I pray that you work all that out. But Lord, I pray specifically for Linda. I pray for Frank. I pray you bless them and their families. I pray for Bren. I pray for Paul. I pray for Mary. I just pray you'd be with them, Lord. I pray that they might consider. I pray that there would be something, Lord, something that they might see that would cause them to rethink their position. I pray that, Lord. And Lord, if my position is wrong, let me see something or hear something or watch something that might change my position, Lord. I pray you guide us all. I pray you bless this country, Lord. I pray for your will to be done, Lord. I don't know what your will is, Lord. I'm praying for Harris to win, Lord. I really think that's the best thing for this country. And that is my prayer, and that's my prayer. I pray that Trump would get justice, Lord. that he would get justice, that he would finally reap what he has sown. And I do. I pray these things in Jesus' name. We'll see you later, Crystal. But yeah. And when I went back and forth a little bit with Bren in the email, she's like, you blocked me before I had a chance to explain myself. And it's like, no, you had a chance to explain yourself. You were attacking me. You weren't explaining yourself. She thought Glenn was on her side just because he knew what the vulgar term she brought up in the chat meant. And she's trying to say I'm vulgar in a devotional. Yeah. That's not acceptable. I'm sorry. It's just not. So, and then interestingly, if you want to talk about another topic, another thing is, I think I said this Monday, is I got into it with this atheist on April A. Joy's Instagram. And she used to be a Christian nationalist also. I think it was also before Trump, so I really related to her. She was very involved in it. Her dad was a pastor, and it's very, very interesting. Let me share with you the Southern Red debut is about Georgia going blue. I didn't even realize that was my first Southern Red video. And then I sang Blue Skies with Blue the dog. A lot of my videos in he was just always very always there. Blue, my friend's Pitbull, and okay, here we go. Trying to copy it. And of course, the Trump people don't think Georgia really went blue. That was one of the states they were arguing about. But all these people, the ones closest to him, have all come out and said, I mean, this is one thing I thought about, and I prayed about this live. You guys, I pray a lot, and I'm praying more all the time. I pray about these lives, and I almost did the whole live on January 6th because that's very important. All you who are supporting Trump, please research it. Research all the ones that were there that saw what he did. You know, they heard him on the phone. I need 11,000 votes. I need 11,000 votes. Like, what? Like, it is not. And how those ones, if my brother would be honest and just really watch what they did, what those Trump supporters, they were Republicans, they were, someone said they were unaffiliated or something. No, they're Republicans. They were, yes, they're very extremists, but it's dangerous. It's just dangerous to have him in there again. And his mental decline, his you know, I'm not near 80. He's less than 24 months from he's going to be 80 in less than 2 years. He's not fit. He's totally unfit. But anyways, and Harris is so much more level-headed, intelligent, qualified. She has more experience than he had when he first was president. When was Trump ever a senator? I mean, like, he hasn't even done the work that any of them, that were presidents before have done before becoming president. They were senators, they were governors, they were, he didn't have any experience. So there's Southern Red, and let's see. And then when Georgia, I let these ones be buried because, let's see. Because, I didn't want to argue with people, and I know some people wouldn't agree with them, So that one was Southern Red. Let me go down here and find this. Here it is. I sang Blue Skies. And that was the first time I vote. I don't know if I was registered as a Democrat, though. I'm not sure. Because I looked at my registration, and I'm not registered as a Democrat right now. I think I'm independent or something like that. Hi, CW. Hello, hello, hello. But little did I know, and I knew I had to be quiet when I got to my brother's. And I got to my brother's in December of 2020. Right after he lost, but they said he didn't lose, and then they kept saying he didn't lose, and then the January 6th thing happened, and I was in my brother's house. My sister-in-law was home on hospice care, and she was dying, and she died on the 9th, and I was just like not watching the news, you guys, and it was so hard to not say anything. My nephew he's like a pot stirrer. He would say more stuff to me than my brother would. Yeah. Yes. You're registered independent. Yeah, I think that's what I am. You guys, I really didn't keep up. When I was raising my 5 kids, of course I was busy. I'm putting a lot of stuff, and I'm going to keep on doing it until the election, especially. And I have a lot of hope that she can do this. And I'm thinking now about where I really want to go, where I really would love to go if she wins in January is to the inauguration. That's where I might go. Um, so yeah, and I finished listening. It's a very good book. I finished listening to um,
Audible hopes you.
The Cult of Trump by Stephen Hassan. I finished. Yeah, well, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that, but anyways, it's a red hat. But yeah. How are you, CW? Yeah, we're praying. But it really is interesting for me to see like these two ones, like Frank in Florida, that I know from my brother-in-law. And yeah, I wouldn't have met him, if my brother-in-law was still alive. I might have never met him. I don't know. Um, but I'm just like, and who are these friends we have in common? Like he's friends with my sister-in-law. So um, it's interesting. As I've told you guys, my last name is Story, and so he's friends with my sister-in-law in Florida, um, which is my brother-in-law's wife. She passed away, and it's kind of cute because um, I was putting her number in my phone, and I said, "Oh, wait." I was thinking for a second, "What's your last name?" And I'm like, "Oh, her last name's the same as mine. Duh." And she's a school teacher, which is so sweet. She's like, well, and she knew. I talked to her and told her what was going on, so she knew. And she's like, well, at least we both have the perfect name for a school teacher and a, a writer. Story. And but sad because her husband passed away. He was 45. He had cancer. So yeah. And it's funny because I was thinking something recently, CW, and uh my brother-in-law, he was just like the happy-go-lucky. Um he got off drugs, and he was just so happy-go-lucky, like. And what I thought about it, because a lot of my oldest son has a personality a lot like one of my brothers. Um, and then my oldest daughter has a personality somewhat like my sister. And I see that like in my family. And then I was just like, where's my younger son at? And I just recently realized this. Haven't said this to him yet, but my younger son is like the happy, fun, happy. I mean, I know he has his moments too, but he's totally. My sons are totally different from each other. But and my oldest brother is like my one of my brothers. My oldest son is like one of my brothers, and then my younger son is sort of like Dave. I feel like his personality is like his uncle Dave. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Betty. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he got off the drugs and he got married. He got married in 2011 to really nice, and he was a geologist. He finished FAU. This is the owl that I got from my mom. FAU's FAU's mascot are the Fighting Owls, and my brother-in-law was a cheerleader for the FAU for the basketball. They eventually did get a football team. The school really grew. My brother, the cop in Los Angeles, he graduated from FAU. My 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 ex-husband graduated from FAU. My mom and my brother-in-law Dave. It's in Boca Raton. That's where I lived. I lived in South Florida for 9 years, from the time I was 12 until I was like 21, 22. We had our oldest child in Florida, and then we had the rest of our kids in Georgia. My sons went to, and my before my ex went to FAU, he went to U of F, so he's a Gator, and that was kind of funny because then we moved up to Georgia, and I think the first or second time, I think maybe it was the first time my parents came to see us in Georgia, we went to Athens because a friend that my dad grew up with, they used to live at their house, like a family friend of my dad's, and my dad had no like family. This was probably like the last family he had, this man named Carol, and he lived in Athens, Georgia, and he was a big University of Georgia fan. And this was when it wasn't the first time. It wasn't the first time they came to see us, because it must have been like the second or third time, because they came right after we moved up there. We moved up there in 88, and they lived in Texas at that time. My mom got them out of Texas. I bet that was rough. Like, she never did really say too much about it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they stayed Democratic, but yeah, they were in the South. They were in Austin, and then they were in Austin, Texas for 5 years, and then they moved like out to the country on a river when my dad retired, and on the Blanco River. They were in Wimberley, Texas. But yeah, my oldest brother died from heroin addiction. He passed in 2005, and they all lived in that Bay Area. You guys, I'm out of contact with a lot of my family, and my family in the Bay Area, I'm out of contact with them. And I'm thinking I'm going to be praying about this. Well, I have been praying about this. I've been praying about this. I'm out of contact with my aunt, and her, I know, is she is or was a Trump fan because of her husband, who's not pretty narcissistic, is from North Carolina. And so he turned her, and also she said because she worked for the state of California, and that made her become conservative. But I don't know for sure that they still are, because a lot of people who supported Trump before are not supporting him now, like his vice president and all that, Secretary of State, whatever, Liz Cheney too, and because she was doing the whole trials, the January 6th trials, and yeah. But I'm gonna keep posting all these things like everywhere on my Facebook. Keep watch on my Facebook. Keep watch. Thank you, Brenda Berner, for what you sent to me. I subscribe to that channel, and I'm learning things too, because I wasn't well informed when I was a Republican either. I was just like, oh, they're pro-life. And, I have 5 kids. I was homeschooling them. It's like, I'm doing my part. I'm being a doormat. There's misogynistic women, and that's what I was. And I sadly taught my my daughters to defer and, honor their father and make excuses for him. And it's just like what Trump's kids do for him, and it's kind of like, and my daughter, I don't know about my youngest. I know my middle daughter is voting for Harris, but my oldest daughter might still be in the Trump cult. My ex probably is. My mother-in-law probably is. My narcissistic father-in-law, I don't know. He's his own. He probably wanted to vote for Robert. I don't know. Robert Kennedy. But he might vote for Trump too. I don't know. He's a narcissist. I don't know. But anyways, I have a cousin I'd like to get back in touch with, and I'm pretty sure she's a liberal. And her mom, who was married to my uncle, is. But I kind of would like to get their thoughts, since they're in that area. They live in the Bay Area, of what they think of her, because they would know more, because they live in that area. They live in Hayward, Castro Valley, that area, San Jose. So, and my brother that died from heroin addiction, he lived in Hayward. Yeah. So I'm doing good. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better, to be honest about what my views are. And this is too, I feel like I kind of have a responsibility. You guys, I added up, I'm going to start dropping my links here. I added up all my followers across all of the platforms, and all together, who wants to make a guess? Anybody want to make a guess of how many followers, when I add them up, from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube? Guess how many followers I have all together on all those platforms? Twitter, Facebook. I have two Facebooks. I have my Susan Story Facebook and my Redheaded Riding Hood Facebook. Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube. Who wants to guess how many followers I have across all the platforms? And let me see who will get it. How many followers? 200. Well, gee, thanks, CW Style. I have more than 200 on every platform. The least amount is 270 on TikTok, but that's the least amount of followers. I'm talking about adding them all together. How many followers do I have? Adding them all. Yeah, there you go, Betty. Almost 7,153, because I have the most on Twitter. And that's because I was following a lot of people and they would follow back. And I was following a lot of people that followed my shady publishers. I didn't bring my book over here. Oops, I better go get it. 7,153, because I have 2,908 on Twitter. Let me share my Facebook. My name is not Susan, but it is. So that's Facebook. I have 2,908 on Twitter, 539 on Redheaded Riding Hood Facebook. I have more on Susan's Story, a little over 1,000. Instagram, I have 1,045. Pinterest, I have 312. TikTok, I have 270. And YouTube, I have 1,079. I hope so. Also on my Facebook page, I've had that the longest. I think my Twitter and my Facebook. So that's why I have 2,908, and then altogether on Facebook I have about 1,539. So um so that's my, and then let me share my so Redheaded Riding Hood on Facebook. So if you like a lot of pictures, I was sharing. So I got in the tub last night and I was like, I'm going to try and find what I'm trying to find. Maybe I can find it tonight. Is my picture of, I told you guys about my Bush Cheney t-shirts from 2000. Um, and so I had Bush Cheney t-shirts and even ones for my kids. I think my youngest daughter. Let me let me let me check this first. Let me check it to make sure. Ran what year? Because it seems like my youngest wore the t-shirt. It was 2000. With only 47.9. Oh, I like that. I like that. So, yeah, it was 2000. So, I guess I must have, I don't know who, I might maybe have my boys wear it. I don't think we even wore them that much. So, I remember I gave them to the Goodwill. And maybe my ex might have found them at the Goodwill. My ex found my silverware at the Goodwill, and he texted me and I ignored it. And I was like, I didn't even realize like I was debating. There was like so much stuff I was going through. And that's what some of the pictures, I went back to 2000 in my pictures, I'm in the tub, I'm looking on my phone. I got like over 50,000. I don't know where it says. Let me see what it says. I have a lot of pictures on my phone. So I got back into my pictures from 2000. And so there are a lot of the things I was selling and getting rid of. So I posted. So if you're interested in looking in all my pictures from my Instagram, go to my Redheaded Riding Hood page. And here's my Instagram. I'll drop that link for you. But I was trying to see. It usually says, because I have over 50,000, I think. I don't know what the number is to now, and I need to go through them and delete some, and I haven't done that, so it might be more like 60,000, or it's Google Photos. Where does it say? It doesn't. I don't see where it says. I have storage left. It's backing up. It's backing up. I told it to last night. Okay. Well, it's not saying. But anyways, I have pictures back to, gosh, I think I have pictures back to 2017. I need to see. Let me see how far it goes back. 2017. Let me see. It goes back to 2016. Oh, there's my daughter's wedding. No, there's me and my son's. Yeah, 2016. Hi, Judy. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Good night, Betty. Good night, Betty. Thank you for being here. And Judy's on her way to work. Judy, on my way to work, just wanted to say your prayers are making breakthroughs in my life. Oh, that's awesome. That's what I'm hoping. So the atheist I'm going to pray for is, this is easy name to remember. Very common name. Michael Johnson. And he's a composer. This is one I've gotten into, and not a Trumpster, but just arguing like I'm not allowed to believe in God. Like, what is your problem, dude? And it's like these people who are extreme are like, I mean, that's just pretty extreme that you have to argue someone out of, believing in God and really mock them. And then like, I'm not mad. You're mad. You sound angrier than me. And it's just like, how can you judge that? Will you be going to courtside? I'm sorry I missed your question. I don't think so. I don't think I will be. I don't think I will be. The desert is not my favorite. And far as I know, the bullies all still meet up there. And then I found out that I found out they were when I was there. Well, you didn't know at the time about the bullies, but and I met Brenda at courtside, which was great. They were right there. They were camping right by Carol's camp, and I don't know, that may not happen again, but could. But I don't think I'll be going now. If Kamala wins, I want to go to DC for the inauguration. Okay, so let me get Judy's. I'm sorry I missed your question. On my way to work, just wanted to say your prayers. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, it went through 3 times. Okay. I know what you're doing. That's what I do all the time. Voice to text. I do that when I'm driving all the time. I've downloaded, and this is bad. I even did it before when I was driving my RV, and it's like, I should never do this. I've made a video and I've downloaded it to YouTube on my phone while I'm driving, not stopping. Now I stop when I do it. I will video when I'm driving, and then I'll download it when I stop, because like that was not really very wise thing to do, especially while driving my RV. Hi, Glenn. Yeah. Bren tried to pull you into her nonsense, Glenn, and say, Glenn knew what I was talking about. Just because you knew what the word cat meant. And Brenda and I are going, what is she talking about? And I was just like, no, sorry, not having any of it. Not having any of it. I feel like that was so wrong of her to do that. And I'm shocked. And this friend, Linda, that I met on YouTube, who I said took care of my handicapped friend when I was just trying to. I was feeling used, and then this handicapped friend was still in that whole group of the people bullying me, and then he sided with the one person that did the video about me, and totally lying on her channel. And these people, I let them keep these videos up for 2 years, and I shouldn't have. So I'm getting tougher. I'm not putting up with any BS anymore. I'm sorry. We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. I'm done. I'm done. I am so done. I'm not putting up with people's crap anymore. I'm sorry. But yeah, she tried to pull that on me, Glenn. Oh, Glenn knew what I meant. Like Glenn didn't know what you meant. Um, and so it was so like it's surprising, but it's not. And with each of these people, you guys, with all of them, and like I said, the one mega person that I just blocked before it got any worse. I just sort of recognized that she was sort of like, she would sort of like interrupt me and say something else, and then somebody would say something. Um, I had to block a guy with a big channel from the group too, that was from the bullying group, that he tried to. A couple of people in the community, the YouTube community, they tried to be like, they tried to be on both sides. It's like they were still friends with them, and I'm just like, I'm not really cool with that. And they would come to my channel. Some of them just sort of, I mean, they tried to be like they were neutral, but then they're over there supporting that person that bullied me, and I'm just like I don't, and I put up with that crap for a long time. And this person in Canada with the big channel was like that. And so this other person, Mary, was just like encouraging them in their, and it's just, it was very subtle. It was very subtle. She was subtly like undermining everything I was saying. She was interrupting, like changing the subject. And I'm just like, okay, I'm sorry. And then I went on her Facebook, and I'm like, oh, I see. That's why. Because she's a Trump supporter, and she just wanted to subtly. And so now I have a new name. I call them MAGA moles. It's like, I want to be your friend, and I want to make you look like an idiot. I want to say that you said the word, a nasty word in your devotional. And like, no, that's not cool. And that's not Christian. That's not going to be, I'm not going to put up with that crap here. Sorry. What are you saying, Glenn? Um, Unless you watch every video of the people. No, I believe Bren she was purposely doing that, and purposely trying to make me look bad. And she didn't like me talking about politics, and she didn't agree with my politics. And she should have just left. She said at the beginning of the live that she was going to leave, and she didn't. Yeah, I hate it when Christians don't act Christ-like, right? Hi. Hello. Hello, are you new? Welcome to my channel. Um, oh, are you talking about when I was talking about the bullying? Because we were all in a community. And listen to this, you guys. Recently, and I didn't know this, the bully and his wife went to a meetup. In fact, the meetup that Crystal was at. Um, and then another van lifer that I hadn't heard of before did a video about them. And I prayed for them to get together because the bully was getting with his ex, and she was egging him on. And she was like, and she got him to do, that's why how she got him to do another video, because it was just making my channel blow up. It was only making my channel blow up. And so that's when they decided to make another video. But anyway, so I prayed. They were both at courtside. Speaking of courtside, again, that's why I didn't go in 2022, because the bullies were there, and then they were ostracizing me from the community, getting my friends, people I thought would stay my friends, to be friends with me. So yeah, it's best if you don't say or hear it. So someone, when they did the second videos, I wasn't looking at their channels. They had to get somebody. They got somebody who was pretending to be friends with me again. Another dude up in Canada, another old fart up in Canada. He's an idiot. Another narcissist, really, I believe. They got this guy up that does van life up in Canada, not the famous guy, this guy with a little channel. Not Chrome, but another guy doing van life up in Canada. They got him to email me to get me to go look at the video. So, yeah, it was really annoying. But anyways, I'm learning, and I guess, I'm going to be on here, and hopefully it will help with my writing when I yeah, you can watch from the beginning. We're talking about lots of stuff. But I'm Red. If you don't know me, I am a spoken word poet. Let me say a poem. I need to say a poem. It's past time for me to say a poem. Oh my goodness, I've gone an hour and 13 minutes. At least I've prayed. I'm praying for everybody. Those on my side, those on the other side. Oh, my friend in Louisiana. Oh my goodness. My friend from Georgia, she's in Louisiana now. She's joking with me. Oh, like, don't do that to me. Girl, don't do that to me. Thank you. Pray too. And I'll be praying for you. I'm live right now. Let me write down Tanita's name. Where are you from, if you don't mind? You can just say the state if you don't want to say the city. I'm in Denver, or thereabouts, where gang members have not taken over the city, and we're also not eating cats and dogs here. Nobody is. I don't like fear mongering. And you know what? The Trump supporter who I was friends with. Oh, okay, good. So you kind of know me. Yeah, I'm a spoken word poet. I'm a mom of 5. I traveled around in my RV for a year. Um, I got involved on in 2021 with the YouTube van life community. A lot of awesome people in the community, and a lot of not so awesome people in the community, from my experience. So let me do my prayer list, and I'm going to put my friend Tanita on it. But Tanita, she's like, I already voted. Because do you know that? Okay, no, I'm not in a van now. I'm kind of considering it. I'm still considering it. I was in an RV though. I was in a 31-foot RV. I'd rather have a van, but a van I could stand up in if I was going to do it full time. I'm thinking if I do part time, I could get a minivan, because driving from here to Denver, I'm from Denver to Philly, where my daughter is. I do it in 3 days, you guys. And one time I didn't stop and get a hotel. I was exhausted by the time I got there, because that is 1,700 miles. Ah, there's Tanita. She's on the Facebook side. Hi. Hi. I'm gonna be praying for you. Yeah, I gotta pray more, you guys. I'm gonna be praying more. That's been on my heart. um, and to pray for these MAGA people, especially the ones that are so mean. I mean, they need our prayer most of all. I mean, the people that were, and this one, I told you about the sweet lady I met at Courtside, the sweet lady that bought me dinner, and she's saying this crazy crap on her Facebook, so I unfriended her. I did not block her, but I unfriended her. Because I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna listen. I don't even know what the word was, kamikaze, Kamala or something, you know, and they're just being nasty, and this is what gets me, y'all. They don't have any receipts. This is what I said to Linda. I was like, bring me the receipts. Go see if you can find one. See if you can find one. You can hear the stuff out of Trump's own mouth. January 6th was a day of love. They had guns. We didn't have guns. Bull. That is baloney. I try not to cuss. I try not to cuss. I try not to cuss. And he'll say, him talking the other day about Arnold Palmer, and then my follower comes in here and lies about me and says I said I'm talking about genitalia on my devotional. And I'm like, what is the matter with these people? I'm sorry, but yeah. But I want to be the book by Stephen Hassan, though, is very good, and I need to be. Yeah, and see, my rent here in Denver is so much, and I came here. I couldn't have even gotten this apartment. It's too expensive, because I didn't even have a job when I got it, but I had just gotten the inheritance from my dad, and so the lady here, the manager here, she said, it's the first time we did it that way. But they just looked at what I had in my bank account and they're like, okay, she can afford this. And so that's how I got this apartment. But now, all of my, since I quit my job, I was a lifeguard for 9 months at the pool where I swim. And so I'm considering it. It's just like, yeah, to live in it, I would. want to be able to stand up. Yeah. Yeah, I've watched Don Lemon, and I really like him, but it's just scary, some of the things on there. I'll share. No, I don't know what this one is. I'll share my Instagram because I was going to share my social medias. I got this banner from, well, it's not on my Instagram, but it's on my Facebooks. And it says Kamala, and for the MALA, it says Make America Love Again. And I love it. I got it from Pam Hempill, who was the January 6er who came out of the cult of Trump. I found out about her on Luke Beasley. Hi, Sylvia. Hello. So yeah, it's pretty cool that I found out I have 7,153 followers across all social medias. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and YouTube. How are you, Sylvia? But watching stuff on Don Lemon, and Don Lemon is right now in Florida and Georgia and talking to people. It's scary. It's scary, and these people are so uninformed. Like, let me go to it. Like,
Already voted.
I did.
like these kids.
Yes? Tell me why.
My dad is a police officer of like 28 years.
Trump. She said she voted for Trump.
About January 6th when they were beating up the police officer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't talk to him specifically about that whole thing for January 6th. But yeah, I know.
I know because you said Republican values, it's supposed to protect the blue, right?
Right.
There were Donald Trump supporters. Like,
They don't protect the blue.
police officers,
Right.
rifles and pepper spray.
But
They're
he's
not-
actually retired by then, but he's going back and running for sheriff for Savannah. So I think it's all like, I think it all gets jumbled up, and I think a lot of it is based off of like how you see the person. And I think a lot of it is like, if you like Trump, you're going to vote for Trump. If you don't like Trump, you're going to vote for Kamala. But like, I don't think people think about like what it's actually going to do for like economy wise and everything like that.
I don't think she's thinking right.
I am voting for Trump. I am a first time voter.
I don't like to see this.
Jesus,
And he said, yeah. And it's scary. It's scary to me. I hope he doesn't.
Oh my gosh, I know.
That's what I would do if I saw him.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
drum up
look
some
at that.
votes for Harris.
You are?
Yes, I am.
What's your message to people?
Go vote. It is necessary. There are 5 amendment rights that might be canceled under Trump's Project 2025. Amendment 1,
Listen to
13,
this.
14, 15, and 19 are at risk of cancellation. That includes your freedom of speech. That includes freedom from slavery, right to vote as a woman.
Oh my God, you are so informed.
Well, you know what? The NAACP, shout out to them, and a lot of other local organizations.
Why are you so passionate?
My goodness. Because this is serious.
This is
This
serious.
is our democracy. This is
Yes.
not about
This
just
is a
what
smart
I
lady.
want. It's what is good for all of us.
Yeah.
So when we select a leader that is supposed to make decisions for the group, we want a leader that is going to be fair, that's going to be just, and who respects our privacy.
Yes.
You think that is?
That's going to be Harris.
Yeah. And you think she's going to win?
You know what? I think she's going to win. And I believe
I'm
that if we
hoping she's gonna
unify
win.
and we vote, that she will win. Ignore the polls, because sometimes it's like, okay, we're doing good. Don't, no, go vote anyway.
I was just going to ask you about
anyway.
the polls.
Go vote.
Go vote anyway. I'm stressed out.
Okay, so how long are you out here? How many
I don't
days?
wanna
The
look
day
at the
after I
polls
found
anymore.
out she was being selected in place of Biden, I mean, it's going to be
You're out here every day?
anybody but Trump. Anybody but Trump.
Yes, that's right. Anybody but Trump. Howard Stern pointed to the wall. He's like, I'd vote for that wall. You know, and that's what I feel like. Yeah, it's scary, this right here. MA, is that how you say your name? Moderates on the left, Democrats, and voting for Trump because he's the only Republican, right? Because how extreme many leftists are becoming. What's extreme? Most of the ones I have heard from are doing it because of the economy. And so my van life friend that's a Trumpster like is hating on me now because I just finally and like before she was like, oh, we should go travel, you should get me, you know, and she said, and I kind of knew, you know, but I didn't want to. Amy, okay. Sorry, I'm really bad about pronouncing names too. So, our treasurer is accused of taking $39 million in taxpayer money. And is that something they're saying is Biden's fault, Sylvia? I haven't heard about that. I have not heard about that. There's a lot of mega lies. I'm sorry, but there are. You know, like the one I keep mentioning about the immigrants that they're eating. I mean, like, come on, people. And you know what he just said? He wanted to go back to 18, like, and that was slavery. We need to go back to, you know, it's just like, you want to see a funny one? Well, let me share my other links. Oh, if you go on my Pinterest, you can see a lot of the stuff I sold and got rid of. I had so much stuff, you guys. I had a lot of cool stuff. It was hard to get rid of some of it. Like the Bush Cheney t-shirt. I was saving those for posterity. I don't know. But, and now it's just so funny since Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney have endorsed Harris. I kind of wish I kept those shirts. But my ex, I wouldn't put it past my ex. I think he bought my silverware, but I'm not sure. But he texted me about it. Do you still have that silverware? Because I found, you know, and I think he might have bought it because he's like a pack rat he's a hoarder. My ex is a hoarder. I hate to see what the 3,400 square foot house looks like. But my youngest, though, she's probably gotten rid of a lot of his stuff and lied to him about it. Because she's like, I call my youngest Lydia Marie Kondo because she's like clean it out and organize it and so she keeps it, you know, I'm sure she keeps the house clean for him because they're all, but I'm wondering, like, I'm curious because I don't know, because I'm out of touch with, I went to San Antonio and saw my youngest in 2023 on President's Day. Speaking of presidents, 2023 in February, after I went to courtside. That's when I finally went to courtside too. And met Brenda. Yeah, that was good, but I don't know that I'm gonna ever go back to courtside. I want to go to the inauguration when Kamala wins. So anyways, I would call Lydia the Marie Kondo. And I thought myself, you know, especially after doing downsizing, all that, I would watch these. I would watch Hoarders when I was sorting through all this stuff too. I'd watch Hoarders. I would watch The Minimalists. I would just go through all the stuff. I looked up where do I send my I had 4 I got from Boca Raton High. It was a big school too. 4 big, thick, heavy, yearbooks from, 9th grade through 12th grade from Boca Raton High School. I'm like, what do I do with these? I would look up, what do I do with these? And I sent them back to Boca Raton High School because they said, it costs a lot. I think it cost me a lot because they were heavy, and I did that, and I went through all the stuff, and yeah, and I'm needing to go through my apartment because now I've been here for 2 years, and yeah. Yeah, I like teeny homes too, but see, I'm wanting my kids to come see me here in Denver. So I'm wanting to for a while I wanted to get a tiny house just for the cost of it, but I'm like, gosh, I want because right now I'm going, and she has 2 little babies, so she hasn't come to see me, and I reconciled with my middle daughter in 2022 after she had my first grandbaby. And here's my grandbaby, Lily. Isn't she cute? Yeah. So if you go to my Facebook or my Instagram, you can see my photos and stuff. But I want my kids to be able to come see me. So I want to have a garden, and I want to have a good I like to cook, so I want to have a good kitchen. So I used to want a teeny house, but now I want a regular size house with, at least 2 bedrooms, but maybe 3 when I buy a place. But so, yeah, I don't know. But I'm thinking I could live in a van again temporarily, because I lived in my RV mostly, but not for the whole year. But out of 52 weeks in a year, I figured it was about 31 weeks. Because sometimes I was house sitting at Gladys's, and I was in my brother's house for part of the time because of taking care of my sister-in-law, and because my RV was tripping up his house. We thought it was my RV at first. I didn't really think it was. My brother thought it was my RV. I wasn't really sure. But I took my RV to my brother's mechanic, and I got a new bumper because I messed up my bumper my first day out with my RV, and I clipped one of those poles at the gas station, and we're going on 6 years in your RV now. Wow, cool. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing it to save money for a little bit, because I've spent too much, and I'm not going to regret it. I did a lot of things I wanted to do, and I gave a lot to my kids, and I'm not going to be sorry. I might go back. I might have gone back and done it differently if I had it to do over again, but I can't. And I gave a lot of it away. I traveled a lot with it. I went to Europe. So, but I could possibly, because I'm thinking like I could go stay in my niece's driveway, probably where my son is in Bend. My son lives on rents from my niece on my niece's property in Bend, Oregon. And then my daughter in Philly, I could go park on her driveway for a while. I might go to Georgia and see. I haven't met my youngest grandbaby. My grandbabies were born in 2022, 2023, and 2024. And I haven't met my youngest, my grandson yet. I haven't met him yet. So, and I was thinking I could go see Tanita. You want me to go see you? Come see you, Tanita? in Louisiana, my friend in Louisiana, who was just joshing me. I love Trump. She's like, I'm just joking. So, let me say my Ginger Me poem. Oh, let me get my book. I got to get my book. Here's my book. And this is my elephant poem and made into a children's book, but I got ripped off by Page Publishing. Do not hire them. They're shady. But this poem is in this book anyways. So come see. Yeah, I could go see you and I could go see Brenda. Yeah. I was kind of toying with the idea of going to see Lindy and maybe going to see you. But yeah, since I'm trying to save money and I don't have a real job and I still need to spend more time writing, I still need to organize my time better and do that. I might set up my Lyft thing so I can drive for Lyft and make some extra money that way. But I'm basically having to continue to dip into the money from my dad, which has dwindled a lot. I'm continuing to have to dip into the money from my dad because my spousal support only covers my rent. So I'm trying to, think of ways to save money. And maybe because I could rent a room and it would be cheaper. So, hey, Arnie. Hi. How are you? Good to see you. I was about to say a poem finally, and I've been going for an hour and 37 minutes. So, what was I saying? I could just like go all over the country and visit my kids. Maybe save some money for, and maybe do it for a year. And yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking of a lot of possibilities, but I could rent a room and it could be like half of what I'm paying in rent here. But I do like to live alone. I am enjoying living alone. I've always I'm the youngest of 7 siblings. And then I had 5 kids, from the time I was 19. 20. I was 20 when I had my oldest. I figured out, I had never figured this out before, but I figured it was 14 years between my mom had her 7 kids. It was a span of 14 years. I was born in 1966. My oldest brother was born in 1951. And then my oldest was born in 1987 and my youngest was born in 2001. So it was a span of about the same amount of time. And we had all those kids. And so we're busy. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was going to say poem from this. If you're interested in this book, I need to enter more though. So if you wanted a book, you can send me a gift of any amount and then send me your snail mail address to this email address. And I'll send you one of these, but it might take a little while because I need to order more from Amazon. I published this on Amazon. Yeah, some of the teeny homes are on trailers, so you can take them anywhere. But even those aren't cheap. Yeah. And So I went to a teeny house show that was in Colorado a little while ago. It was good. Let's see. Did I share my Pinterest? I shared my Pinterest. What else? I was going to share my Twitter. And then I'll say my Redheaded poem. So, this poem's called Ginger Me. I don't know what page it's on, but it's in this book. Blondes have all the fun. They're the lucky ones. Gentlemen prefer them. It seems bad boys prefer me. Perhaps another shade of dye is worth a try, but my cousin says her red hair makes her fly. They look at her, they look at me. If he's male, we'll get it for free. She's got sass, she's got spunk. She knows that God don't make junk. They call me red, a firecracker, they said. I no longer care what they say. What's in my heart can't be taken away. Someday my hair will fade, and I'll let it stay gray. Or go white, as redheads do. Beauty is vain. But the fire in my heart will burn on, and to my king I'll sing this song. His love is deeper than the ocean. He washes away my brokenness. He whispers to my heart, his love for me will never part. That is in here. Not sure what page it's on. It's on page 43. It's on page 43. And want to hear the elephant one again? Or the haunting. The haunting is in here. This is the haunting one I said for my dad and my stepmom. And my dad asked for a copy of my book. And you guys, I wouldn't have given the first, one of the first poems in here is about my chains and it's about my dad. And so it's kind of awkward, but I gave him a copy of it. And then, I left some stuff at my brother's house when I left abruptly in my RV. I had all my stuff in my RV. That's what was cool about it. I had everything I owned in my RV, and my brother was being a jerk and being mean, and I got accused of his tenant, who I thought was just his tenant, ended up she was his girlfriend. And it was just like a couple months after my sister-in-law passed. Thank you, Amy. We'll check out your books and channel when I log out before I leave. What are your thoughts about the rampant crime due to criminals not staying locked up, causing so much havoc, like here in New York City? I don't know a lot about that. I haven't heard about that. Is it immigrants? Is it something that has to do with does it have to do with the elections? But I don't know anything. I haven't heard anything about that. There's lots of crime here in Denver. I don't think it's due to, there's always lots of crime in big cities. And I'm more out of the city, but like right after, I didn't even know how good it was going to be. And that's part of the reason why my rent is a lot. I have a garage for my car, and I have the newest car I ever, after I sold my RV, I bought a 2020 RAV4 hybrid. And I love my car. That's why it's hard. I would trade it in if I got a van, and I kind of don't want to. I love my car, so that's my dilemma about getting a van, because I wouldn't keep both. You're allowed to steal up to $950 in California before you can get in trouble. Yeah, that's sad. But after I left, and my son, he lived in Denver, and he rented from his best friend who still lives here. He had a condominium, and that's where I stayed. And right after I left there, and I had to park on the street when I stayed with them temporarily until I found this apartment. I had to park on the street, and then right after I moved out, his new person, they got a new tenant. One guy moved out. They got a new tenant. Their car was stolen right out of the parking place. It wasn't even on the street. Right out of the parking place in that condominium. So they're refusing to prosecute. I mean, how can that be? They're refusing to prosecute criminals. They're blaming the immigrants. Yeah, it's just like, I feel like they're blaming. There's a lot of stuff going on that's not. Brenda's husband's from Rochester, New York. Okay. Yeah, I know I heard about the mayor getting in trouble. But how can they refuse to prosecute criminals? I mean, how can that even be possible? Someone came into my live on Monday and said, and this is a lie too. I don't believe this, at all, because I don't think it can even possibly happen. So someone came into my live Monday and said the border patrol are gonna quit if Kamala wins. And I'm just like, oh really? They're not gonna get paid? They're gonna quit their jobs and just lose their jobs? I mean, I'm just like, I don't think that's possible. I don't see how the DA is refusing to prosecute criminals. I am focusing a lot here because I do feel it's so important on Harris and her qualifications and her things. So I don't really think this is pertinent. And it sounds like another thing they're spinning. They're already starting in Georgia, since they're already starting to vote and all that. Marjorie Taylor Greene they're already bringing up stuff. And me and my friend at Coda had lunch with a lovely older couple. They're in their 80s. And she and the woman, I didn't ask them. I wanted to ask them, but I didn't ask them. They didn't say. And they could see I had this button on. So I didn't ask them who they were voting for, but she said she feels like there's going to be trouble no matter who wins. So we need to pray. But yeah, somebody came in here and said that, the border patrol is just going to quit, and then Linda, who used to be my friend, would be like, let's travel together, or come see me, and all that, who used to be so nice and my friend, and we talk on the phone for, an hour at a time, says, well, you're going to be sorry you elected him when you get attacked by an immigrant. And it's just like, I'm not for this fear mongering. I'm not for it. I'm not sure everyone's seen that's not going out of biz. It's locking up everything. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, this is a lady I just met today, the spouse of someone that goes to my CODA group. There shouldn't be trouble after the election, no matter who wins. There shouldn't be. They're going to be on alert. I know they're going to be on high alert. They're probably going to, this time they're going to know. There's going to be they kept calling for support and calling for support. Overcrowding is a huge problem in prison, which is a big reason some get released early just to make room. I see, but I don't see how it could be legal for them for the DA, the district attorney refusing to prosecute. That's insane. But again, I keep asking, why did they shoot down the border bill that a conservative Republican wrote up that would have called for more people at the border? And Trump got it shot down because he wanted to run on that platform, because he does not want to fix your problems. He wants to run on your problems and use fear mongering on people. I mean, but what a thing to say to me. I used to be her friend, but now she doesn't like me because I'm voting for Harris, and now is calling me names and that I'm not a Christian. It's like ridiculous. She never even claimed to. Vancouver, Washington, I guess. I'm from LA. My brother's LAPD. He is a Trumpster. He is mega. He hates it in California. And now he's kind of stuck there because my nephew is LAPD also. But are you saying that that's going to be better? That it would be better under Trump? Crime rates, it says crime rates are down. I've heard crime rates are down, and the stock market is up. I was in, and when I traveled in my RV, I was in Belleville, which is right outside of St. Louis. Yeah. My daughter and I took the subway from Philly into New York City to see Wicked. Mother's Day 20 last year. Mother's Day last year. Not this year, last year. I'm talking about Bellevue, Illinois, which is right outside of St. Louis. I've been to Atlanta, but I'm asking you, what's your point? Subway from Philly to New York, into New York City. Yep. We had to switch trains, and then the last time we had to switch trains, we were late, and we just got yeah, we did. My daughter lives right down the street from New Jersey. It wasn't from Philly. No, she lives in Levittown. So yeah, that's right, New Jersey. From New Jersey into, yeah, I left my car, New Jersey, and we took it into New York to see Wicked on Broadway. But are you saying that you think it's going to somehow be better under it was a subway, it was a transit, and also I was saying I have family that lives in the Bay Area, and so I've pretty much been to like all the major cities. Yeah, I've been to New York, Philly, Atlanta a lot because we lived 100. We would have to go to Atlanta airport. But I mean, what's your point? I'm talking about presidential candidates here. Do you think it's going to be better? Do you think that either one of them is going to be better for crime anywhere? Either way, I don't think it's. Frat Road TV. I don't know what Frat Road TV. Yeah. I was saying before when I was trying not to talk about it. I was trying not to talk about it. I watched this Prepper Princess, and she thinks there's going to be a recession either way. You know, she's just like a prepper, but she's also a minimalist. I really love her, and she saved up money. And I guess I love this because I'm sorry, but I love California. My brother hates it now. But he's kind of stuck because he's LAPD. He's a workaholic. He doesn't want to retire. And now his son is LAPD. So he's kind of stuck in LA. But that's where I lived on my brother's I lived in my RV on my brother's property from December 2020 until April 2021. I went back to St. Louis for a month to house sit. Yeah, I like to watch like the Daily. It's like hilarious. It's hilarious, and this little feud, this little feud between Jimmy. It's Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy. I get the Jimmy's confused. Not Jimmy Fallon, the other one. Kimmel, Jimmy Kimmel, and Trump. Have a little, and Jimmy Kimmel's hilarious, and Colbert is hilarious, and the Daily Show. I mean, they just like. I really want him to be out of it, but I'm like, they're gonna have so much less fun. They're having like so much fun with everything, like him saying the crap about Arnold Palmer. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's just ridiculous. I saw one that was really funny. If only people would take heed, because his it's on Midas. I like Midas Touch, Midas Network. They're at like 1 million. Well, I spelled it wrong. I can't get it. Oh my goodness. Okay. I found it. It's a liberal one, but yeah, I don't know what to say either. Oh, I hope so. I hope so. But what's so funny is they did this ad that's hilarious. I don't know who did it. I don't know if it was Midas. Oh goodness, why do I oh there it is. It's MEIDA. Okay, I need to look at how it's spelled. Duh. Oh gosh, they're just posting so much. I can't even like find it. Where is it? Maybe it wasn't this one because I can't find it. It was a funny one. Oh, okay, here it is. This is hilarious.
People come in. They're eating the cats.
And he just kept getting worse.
They did dumps. That's what they call them, dumps. Big, massive dumps.
Gross.
In Michigan and Pennsylvania. All over.
We had to do something.
They will take the life of the child in the 9th month. Even after birth, they'll execute the baby.
Did you guys hear that? That was on the debate.
Then a friend told us there was somewhere he could get the help he so desperately needed,
This
called
is so funny.
A Place for Trump.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Now he has round-the-clock support and can enjoy the things he loves, like eating cheeseburgers and rage posting at 3 a.m.
I know windmills very much. And they're driving the whales, I think, a little batty.
Sure. So this November, let's vote to put him in A Place for Trump.
Cause cancer.
Because we all know he belongs in a home, just not this one.
I have concepts of a plan.
I have concepts of a plan. Of course you do. I mean, it's hilarious. Oh, and did you hear what Jeffrey Goldberg? I need the kind of generals Hitler had. Generals Hitler's, and I didn't know this until they said this on there. Generals, Hitler's generals were ones that were part of the the assassination attempts on him. You don't waste your time. Okay. I did not used to watch a whole lot of news, especially in raising my 5 kids. I was just a Republican. I was just like, I went, when Dole was at the Air Force, Warner Robins Air Force Base, and my Claire Bear was a baby. And my brother Chris was living at our house at that time. He lived with us for 9 months, from right before Claire was born until she was like 8 months old. And I got up and got the kids out, and we went to the Dole rally in '96, and then we got a picture on the front of the paper. But I wasn't really that informed because I didn't have time. I was homeschooling my kids. I didn't, I had 4 kids then, and then we had Lydia. We had Lydia in 2001. But Yeah, that's who's going to be. Yeah, if he wins, that's who they're voting for. They're really voting for Vance. You know, Trump supporters need to think about that. 13 watching, thank y'all for being here. Thank you. Um, somebody watching may not agree, but yeah, this is my channel. I'll say what I want. And God bless you. I'm praying for MAGA friends, family. You actually like DeSantis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really just got into it recently. So ghetto. I think it's funny though. I watch on the and I watch everything on YouTube. I only have Netflix. But I like to watch the Saturday Night Live ones. It's funny. They did a spoof on the Fox interview. I feel like she did good on that. And the left will twist everything. So I started to say, I don't know if I finished it, but I started to say already Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying that the ballot machines, and she could be sued. She's saying the ballot machines are not working right in Georgia. And they're just already, they're getting ready to say, if Trump wins, it'll be fine. I mean, he's not going to say anything. It's not going to be fine if he wins, but yeah, I don't think he's going to win. But if he loses, he's going to say it's rigged again. I mean, he's not going to accept it. He's not going to accept it. He's going to say it was stolen again. So that's what I'm concerned about. And already they're saying, Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying, and the ballot boxes are, you have to look at your thing. And like this lady did it 3 times and she has nothing to corroborate this, nothing to, where are your receipts? Where are your receipts? That's what I was saying at the beginning of this, that, these Trumpsters, I go to their pages and they have these videos and these things. And there's no proof of anything. Like, this Linda like has a video about, oh yeah, we were in the store and this immigrants were gonna attack us and rob us, but I was watching them. And he just like has no proof or anything or nothing, and they just have these little memes they made up and they say, oh yeah, she was calling out the heckler and they were saying Jesus is Lord. And it's like, that's false. That's just made up crap. So it's unbelievable. Yeah, and I feel exactly what Glenn said, that Vance is just going to end up being president. And that's why he changed his view. Vance is the one that said he's like Hitler. Vance was against him before. And then Vance is, he's just wishy-washy. He's just doing it for his personal gain. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he wants to throw out the whole Constitution. He's not for the Constitution. Yeah, he wants to be a dictator on day one. That's what he said. Yeah. I don't seem to see as many extremists on the left. I mean, usually they're not like January 6ers, To me, it seems like the Democrats are a lot more quieter. Like I said, like the people I'm having problems with are these mega moles coming in my chat and trying to stealthily attack me. Pretend I'm used to fake friends. Okay? And then this guy I said my brother-in-law's best friend, my brother-in-law who passed away, his best friend on Facebook coming to me. And on Instagram, I was following him on Instagram and I just unfollowed him because all of his were Trump supporting, and I'm just like, I don't want to get into it with him. But he came over to my Facebook and I put a joke about, I thought McDonald's already had a clown. And I do something like that. But mostly I'll do the whole videos, But they do ones that are fake, that's just a joke. They do ones that are fake, and saying the hecklers were saying Jesus. Why would they go to a Kamala Harris rally and say Jesus is Lord? And it's funny that right after that too, she was at church and all these Baptist ladies were praying over her. That was on Don Lemon's also. I like Don Lemon's, and he's interviewing a lot of Trumpsters too. He's talking to everybody. I really have liked his So are you undecided, Amy? I hope you're not. Yeah. Okay, Kamala's going to have a CNN town hall. Yeah, I'm going out canvassing for some local ones because the calling is in Denver on a weeknight. And so, don't tell me that. Oh, you please go vote for him. Please don't. Yeah, I did get in. It was the left sisters, your speech, and delete your comments even on YouTube. Harass people for misgendering them or family values, or extremists trying to shoot and kill Trump. Oh, I don't think they're leftist extremists trying to shoot. Those were people who were Republicans. I don't agree with not voting. I don't think it's. I understand that sentiment though. I didn't vote in 2016, but I regret that. I feel like you should vote. But I honestly don't feel like you should vote for Trump. If you feel like if you were going to go vote, yeah, like some lady that was here on Monday also kept saying she wasn't going to vote, and she goes on and on about conspiracy theories and that's all controlled by one, and I don't even really know what she's talking about, but she kept saying she wasn't going to vote. It was really two ladies that were causing a disturbance on my Monday Live. But yeah, you think it's leftist extremists that were trying to kill Trump? Because I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they were. I think especially the second one. I think it was fake, and that was a Republican guy too. Happily voted for Hillary. Yeah, I didn't vote for Obama either. My mom did. I'm glad. I was glad to see him win. My husband was so angry, and my brother hates him, and my mom sent him a Obama book, and he sent her a picture of him burning it. And then my mom fell on my brother's birthday, and then she passed away like 2 weeks later. It was horrible. And I didn't vote for Obama either time, because I was still a Republican then. But I was glad to see him, and I was glad my mom got to see the first Black president. She voted for him. She was like a Democrat her whole life, I'm pretty sure. And because she passed away in 2009. So I was glad she got to see that. You know that Jimmy Carter voted. It turned 100 years old this year. I think his birthday was it early October or late September? He just turned 100, and he cast his vote for Kamala, and he said he wanted to see the first woman president. Yeah, I wish I would have voted for Hillary, honestly. I was in the cult. I mean, and I just recently realized this in learning about April Ajoy. So April Ajoy was and she has a book that I'm going to get called Star Spangled Jesus. She was in the cult before Trump, because that's what I was in. It was like a cult. I was in the Southern Baptist Church. I homeschooled. We all homeschooled. We got involved in Republican politics. It was like a cult. But when Trump came on the scene, I was just like, no, 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 no. Not going to vote for that. And then I voted for no one in 2016. And then I voted for Biden in 2020. Yes. Please, please vote for Harris. Please. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And the one thing I do not get is, that I was going to tell you guys this story. So I had a neighbor across the street from me, and she was a character, and her name was Susan too. But I loved Susan to death. Always all kinds of characters over there, at her house. And she was a little bit older. She's about my age. She was maybe a little bit older than me. And she was the one. Yeah, exactly. And yes, exactly. Because he was a sexual. And this was before I was, that was before, because I was date raped in 2017. And I blamed myself. It was a date rape. And I went to his house. So I blamed myself. But I told the story I would talk to my neighbor, Susan. And I was telling her the story, and she's the one because I said, I started crying. I tried to get him to stop, and I was stuck there. I took my medicine for my bipolar. It made me sleepy. I kept going to sleep. He kept waking me up. So I let him finish. So I just, well, okay. And that was only like the second person I've been with since my husband, because I was with my husband. We started dating when I was like 17. I was a virgin before my husband. I hadn't been with anybody. It was so traumatizing. That's why it was so traumatizing. And I blamed myself. But Susan is the one that told me that that's date rape. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Because it wasn't consensual. And I left, and then I blocked him on everything. He knew how to work the dating app somehow, because he kept popping up, and I kept blocking him. I'm like, screw you, asshole. Excuse my language. But yeah, I didn't realize so it was Susan. But to make a point to go on about Susan is she was just she was a colorful character, okay? She was a colorful character, and it was something to do with her friend, I think it was her friend's son was in prison or something. But anyways, she went to prison. She went to prison, and this probably was 2020. And maybe it was good because I'm not even sure who she was for, because I didn't want to talk about it. You guys, I did not want to talk about it. You really thought Trump would appoint the best people in all areas, finance, economics, diplomat, the first time around, but we saw that didn't happen. It won't be any different this time if he wins. Yes. Thank you for that, Glenn. So anyways, so it turns out, I found out, people tell me stuff. This happens to me all the time because people tell me stuff. And that's why, like, I think I'm attracted to, like I told you, I had a MAGA friend at my recent church at Cherry Creek Presbyterian, because I was not being outspoken about it. And they're like, oh, here's a nice person, and I can talk to them and get them on, the Trump team too, or the Trump train or whatever. That's good. That's good. So Susan tells me that she was taking something. She was taking something into the prison she wasn't supposed to. Anyways, it turns out I found out my neighbor was a felon. And guess what she said? I can't vote. I'm so mad. I can't vote. I can't vote. This is in Georgia. So I don't know. I guess it's different from state to state. But why? He's a felon. How can he run for president? That's what, I really, you guys, I didn't see, since I left Georgia, and that was the great and the best thing I ever did. But I was away from God, and I was traveling around in my RV, and I was having a lot of anxiety. And I don't know exactly when it was, but it was when my kids were little, is when I decided to stop. I was not informed because I wasn't watching the news. I wasn't that informed. I didn't know all these things. Like when Susan told me that, I didn't know that, but I knew. And then when January 6th happened, I told you I was at my brother's house, my brother's MAGA house. My sister-in-law was dying, so I wasn't watching the news then. I didn't know all that went on. But as time went on, and then I left my brother's, and we're, falling out. And I pray he's out of the cult, but I doubt that he is. And also my aunt she's in San Jose, not Palo Alto. San Jose, I pray she's out of it, but I doubt it because of her narcissistic husband. She's probably still in it. But that's ridiculous. They have to be born. And I didn't know my husband, because he's racist. He hated Obama. He brought up the birth certificate thing for me, and I didn't know until later that was a thing Trump brought up. And I watched it. It's on the front line. The frontline thing about both the candidates, I learned something about both of them, stuff I didn't know. It's very interesting. If anybody hasn't seen it, let me drop that. I thought this was very well done. I really did. Let me share it again on my community tab too. Let me go. Because I didn't know the stuff about him not running to black. I am flabbergasted at all the blacks in support of him. I mean, I really feel like they're not educated, because he is racist. And I don't understand. I don't even understand how the women can vote for him either. I don't understand it. It's really hard for me to comprehend. Yeah. For president, they have to be born in the U.S. Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. I remember him. And then I remember early on people talking to Maria Shriver. I love Maria Shriver's social media if you follow her. Here's the frontline thing on both candidates. And I didn't know. And people forget too. People forget about the Central Park 5 that he got arrested and they were innocent. But yeah, I didn't know the stuff about Trump and his dad not running to, and the lawsuit they got into in New York for not running to blacks. Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. So I was still like not watching the news very much, even like earlier this year. And I thought he wasn't going to be able to, run. You know, I wasn't really even thinking about, like, early in the year, you know, before they picked him as a, you know, and I was kind of flabbergasted that he could run again, you know, especially after January 6th. Like, how can he run again? Yeah, that's what I feel like. It's, yeah. And what gets me is what I said to Frank, because I think he's a Christian. And hey Elsa, hi. Need to do my list. I'm not working on my list here. And then Judy was in here. I don't know if I got everybody. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody. Crystal was here. Betty was here. Yes, thank you all for being here. Arnie, are you still here, Arnie? Arnie might have gone to go live. Arnie goes live a lot. Gonna have to turn the page. I got a long list here. So yeah, I'm being much more informed now. Sylvia, got a good bunch here. I got Tanita. Yeah, because I'm going to pray for y'all at the end. Brady Bendis, CW. Crystal. Oh, you know what? And I missed, you guys, I had changed my alarm on my phone because Lindy went live last week on Wednesday. And then I missed Lindy's live yesterday. And I was so upset. I still need to go back and watch that. I realized that last night. I was like, late last night. I'm like, oh, fudge. I missed Lindy's live. I was so annoyed with myself. Yeah. Americans who are yeah, exactly. Who are going through hard times somehow think and blame whoever is running the country at the time, so they get sucked into the other candidates' promises which won't be upheld. Yeah. Exactly. And I don't think the economy, like I said, the Prepper Princess said, she's like, I think there's going to be a recession either way. It doesn't matter who's, of course I feel like they're kind of fear. I'm not really for a lot of preppers because I'm not for, you know, because like whatever you save, how do you know it's going to be the thing that they're going to run out of? You don't know. You don't know what to save. And I'm more of a minimalist, and you have to trust God. I'm sorry I missed it. Yeah, I didn't have my alarm set and I missed it. And yeah, and I was arguing back and forth with these mean MAGAs on Facebook. Yeah, I was arguing back and forth with yeah, I usually don't see anybody's notifications. Um how are you, Elsa? We can all be like, I mean, everybody can think back to a time where they maybe thought a certain way, and then later on they thought that they were wrong. Like I said, like most of the Trump supporters will probably not agree with me, but I think I should have voted for Hillary in 2016. I think that I should have not I shouldn't not vote. Yeah, I wasn't. I was kind of off because like I thought she might be still resting. But yeah. Um I just think it helps if and I really feel like the book um Stephen Hassan's book was good about the cult of Trump because he was just telling you to be really and I need to do better at this because I get riled up. I do get riled up. But we don't want to cut off communication. And that's what, and I feel like mostly that is, I mean, it's my experience, and I don't know if anybody um I just feel like they're very hostile and they're very hateful. And that's what I've said. Like, I feel like they want to make America hate again. So it's hard. And most of the time they've, you know, cut me off. My brother's very ugly to me. And then, you know, Bren saying what she did, you know, that's not going to be tolerated. Lying, you know, and it's just like you're kind of deflecting for you're saying you don't want to hear about that stuff. So why would you vote for someone who talks about that stuff all the time? So, anyways. I need to say another, I've gone 2 hours and 35 minutes. What's that link? Rodent repellent? Oh, wait. Oh, it's like the grass will be greener on the other side. Yeah, sometimes people just want to vote, you know, who's ever in, you know, have somebody else, it'll be better, you know. So it's like a Democrat in, so we need to pro Republican now, you know, and it's just like, the biggest problem that this country has. It seems other people have a hard time accepting other people's beliefs. I do have a hard time accepting beliefs that I believe are racist and people saying, I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian since, you know, really all my life, but 1984 specifically. And what I can't stand is them acting like they're Christian. Like that's what really, I brought it up on TikTok. And on TikTok, I went to Linda's TikTok. Well, her thing kept coming in my feed about the lie. And it's funny that the other MAGA put the same lie on my Facebook, that they're saying Jesus is Lord. And she's saying, oh, you're at the wrong rally. And that's not what happened. So my beliefs is that you can very well be a Democrat and be a Christian. Kamala Harris is a Christian and Trump is not. And all these Christians are deceived. And if you read Matthew 24, it's in there that even the elect will be deceived, because it's insane. Christians are not usually for felons or sexual offenders or insurrectionists. Treason. Glenn is right. It was treason. It was treason. And yeah, I do have, in that respect, I do have a problem accepting those beliefs. I don't like people taking Christianity and dragging it through the mud and saying we're okay with all this crap, with all this immorality, and talking about Arnold Palmer's, you know, and then a MAGA mole in here saying I'm talking about genitalia in my devotion. Like, that is very much projecting what you're like. That's, yeah. But pray and vote. That's what I can say. Please pray for God's will to be done. Pray, pray whatever you want to pray. God always listens. Says yes, no, wait. He always answers yes, no, wait. Not right now. Just and everyone doing whatever they have to do to get ahead for themselves. Just crushes other people with no care. Yeah. But only in the case of Linda, who, I've been like she was like, let's travel together, and she wanted. I think she was kind of offended when I didn't contact her when I wasn't in courtside because she's in Phoenix. But I didn't, and I'm just like, you guys, I've been overly nice. Overly nice. And so and only in the case of Linda did I go to her Twitter, not Twitter, TikTok, and say that this meme is wrong, is false, it's fake. They were not saying Jesus. They were saying lies. It was on Colbert too. It was on Colbert, and I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm going to find. I went to Forbes. Now Forbes has been very conservative, really more for Trump, but it had just the whole video of the whole thing. And they were not saying, they were saying lies. And she was talking about the abortion thing. And she said, oh, no, you guys are at the wrong rally. And she shut them down. But, I really feel Harris is for, and a lot of people are, I put on my Facebook and on my community tab about all the megas coming out of it and that are voting for Harris now. And that's really encouraging. But the people Don Lemon are talking to, that can get discouraging. And somebody on there, I'm like, I almost feel like that too. Somebody on there was like, I can't watch this anymore because the kids and like young college kids, and they're not informed. And that one I showed you about the girl saying her dad was a cop and I'm for Trump, and and I just wish my brother would really watch the but I really feel like my brother's been brainwashed. I really feel like it. And he's probably going to vote for Trump, but I'm praying that he will lose. A pastor once told me there is rarely a pure heart, but there is also rarely a truly evil one. Yeah. But I do feel like he's evil and is a danger. He's a danger. He is a danger. And the other side, like Linda, she believes that. And then she called me out as not being a Christian just because I'm for Kamala. And she's never even said she was I tagged her on my community tab and like, go look. She doesn't even, she never even said to me, I didn't think she was Christian. I didn't know she was Christian. And she got on to me for saying that. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were Christian. She got onto that for me judging her, and she said, now, and then she says back at me, you're not a Christian because you support Kamal. And I'm just like, just brainwashed. But I want normal TV back. Yeah, exactly. Let me say another poem and pray. So yeah, I was thinking of saying the haunting one that I said for my dad and see if you can recognize a line from a hymn, from a famous hymn in this one. If you already know, we're sending too much money overseas. There's too many people here that need it. Another thing I see that I like about Kamala is she's willing to change. She's willing to say, hey, I made a mistake here. Like in that thing, that frontline thing, I put the link up here somewhere. In that front line thing, and let me see. Did I put it? Let me see if I can put it again. Oh, that's Don Lemon. Don IG. Did I share the Frontline link? I meant to. Let me see. I think I did. But in that one, she, like, they were getting onto her about not going to the border. And then she went to the border. And when she was in Guatemala, she said, don't come here. She said that. I was surprised at that. I hadn't seen that before. And I think that, you know, she knows that's why they had the border bill that she was going to sign. Yeah, but he was before. He was before that. I think that I feel like this might be controversial. I don't know if I should say it, but I feel like a certain type of person becomes a cop. And that's what I feel like the problem was with, and I know about the George Floyd all situation, but that guy, I feel like my brother may have had some, I was bullied. I was bullied by Mexicans in Los Angeles when I was in middle school, and I was bullied by blacks. They bust them into Boca Raton from Delray Beach, and I was bullied by, she pulled my chain like right off my neck. But and I don't know that I necessarily believe that it's, I'm not sure. It could, I feel like you could be right, but I'm not really sure. I'm not sure it needs, maybe. I feel like that maybe. But I don't think, like, which came first, the chicken or the egg. I feel like he was before that. And I think he might have been bullied by, yeah, well, I know he was bullied. And I was bullied by him. He used to beat me up. And it's just going on. And I wish it would stop. And I just want to pray. And I will keep praying. I pray protection over them because he's LAPD and my nephew's LAPD. But I feel like, and of course I can't make a blanket statement and say all cops, but I feel like a lot of people or men who were bullied or whatever, it's like they're taking back their power, and now I'm going to be a cop and I'm going to get you, I feel like Chauvin, he probably was bullied, and he probably maybe had blacks pick on him or whatever. And so he's going to now I'm going to do this. And so. Oh, you feel like they don't care at all? I feel like the I don't know. I just want to be positive. Someone cares. I'm not going to say neither of them care. I mean, that's what someone, coming in here first, Paul was saying, are they all, none of them give a shit, they're all corrupt. They're all, they're all, I was trying to say to Roy what, Roy, I thought they'd all broke the law, but I was like, what law did Kamala break? Haven't heard about that one. But I feel like she honestly cares. She's a public servant. She honestly cares. And, the it would be stupid for them not to care about U.S. citizens. I think they do. Trump only cares about himself, and if he gets elected, he won't have to go to prison. You believe Biden did have very good intentions, but everyone else? But at least we haven't entered into the wars. Yeah, the vice president doesn't really have that much power, you know? I mean, that's what I'm hearing. They're not really, they're there in case the president gets killed, you know? And a vote for Trump is a vote for Vance. So really look into Vance, because Trump's not going to be around, especially eating all, he's overweight, he's senile, he's going to die. I'm telling you, he's going to die. You know, if he gets in there, it's just going to be, it's going to be Vance. Yeah, and there's, you know, their help. I don't want, you know, I'm going to pray. I'm usually pray about Russia and Ukraine and the Middle East, and thankfully they killed the leader, that evil leader, but it's still, the war is still going on. Who are this? The Simpsons? Are you talking about the cartoon show? The Simpsons who? There's another guy that has predicted a lot of elections, and he says Kamala will win. The Simpsons. Well, I don't trust the Simpsons. There's been a guy who's predicted every presidential election, and that guy predicted that Harris will win, and he's all the last for, gosh, I don't know how many years, many years. But there's 13 things that he looks at, and by going by that, he predicts that Harris will win. Let me find his name. I think he's a historian too. Okay. It is Alan Lichtman. So I like to hear that. Using his 13 keys to the White House. I saw him somewhere on YouTube, but he was on someone else's show. This is News Nation thing. This is an article. Historian Alan Lichtman still predicts a Kamala win. Using his 13 keys to the White House, he favors Harris's odds. He's accurately predicted nearly all presidential races since 1984. Let me put this article in here. Alan Lichtman. So the Simpsons are spoofing, you know. There was a cute little one. Again, I like Don Lemon. Now I want to get his book. And here's April A. Joy. Oh gosh, I should share her. She's funny. When Don Lemon, I don't always like the things he says, but he went.
Trip is stopping for a meal and meeting the friendly folks who make up the heart and soul of
Can
our
you see
country.
it?
Hello, we're from the Northeast.
And they're all MAGA. This is what he said he felt like because he was in Florida.
Okay, then. We'll do 55 pancakes to go.
Creepy. He's like, me right now in Florida. I said, I don't think he has time to even look at his comments. I said, hang in there, Dawn. We love you. Oh, it's funny. Alan Lichtman, wasn't that also an actor? That's why the name is sounding familiar to me. I think that was also the name of an actor, wasn't it? Or a journalist or something. But gosh, I gotta pee. I'm just gonna go to 3 hours. Wow, look at that. 2 hours and 57 minutes. I want to say the haunting poem. Like I said it for my my dad and his wife, my stepmother, 2014, on the way to church. Yeah, so apparently this guy has the same name. Historian Alan Lichtman, Allichtman. Okay, I'm gonna say my haunting poem that's in here. It's called A Haunting. I got the idea from Psalm 139 and a quote in my mom's favorite devotional, which is called, no, she has a lot of favorite devotionals, but one of them is called My Utmost for His Highest, where he says, what are you haunted by? And says we should be haunted by God. So I could just run away, try to live my way another day, but what would be the use? Wasted time, a wasted life? But then again, I could give it all to him and he transforms it. If you move to the left or to the right, you're halfway there, or perhaps not quite. I hear him all the time. I open my eyes and he lights up the sky. In a song, I see him. In a tree, he's there. Wherever I go, to a movie or a show, there isn't a thought he doesn't know. He is the great I am, and yet he is my friend. It's too wonderful to comprehend. He'll always be there till the end. When we've been there 10,000 years, his voice will echo in my ears. Still his praises I will sing, always and forever. He is my king. Yeah. And I want to pray for the atheist guy on Instagram. And pray for Megas. Pray for Megas. Yeah, I want to share with you April. April A. Joy is funny too. So she's, come out of that cult, and she is for Harris, but she's Christian still, and she was on Fun Day Fridays, which is usually ex-evangelicals. I mean, and she is an ex-evangelical. I consider myself an ex-evangelical also, because I'm a Christian Universalist now. And I think April Ajoy is also, actually. But some of her stuff is really funny. If you were involved in evangelical, some of it you might not get. Like, I commented on one of her things, and I was just like, "I'm getting your book," She's like, I'm like, I understand, and it kind of made me realize that I was in the cult. I was in the cult before Trump came on the scene, but I mean, it was already, was becoming, and that's what, from reading Stephen Hassan's book too. There's April Ajoy's Instagram. Oh, and you want my TikTok? Is anybody on TikTok? I didn't share that yet. So imagine that I have 7,000. That was encouraging to me. I have 7,153 followers. Some of them are the same, I think, across the board, though. Like some of them are following me on, like, I think Roy and Becky and I are friends. Like I said, Linda. Linda. I'm going to pray for Linda. Here's Red on TikTok. Linda's probably not following me on YouTube anymore, but she tagged me in a mean post. And in the post, she says she's going to block me. And I will, that I'm blocked. And I'm like, well, Linda, you couldn't tag me if I was blocked. And then I sort of said, could you be wrong about other things too? I feel like it's important to, and that's another thing about Trump. I feel like Kamala and even Tim Walz can admit when they made a mistake. Like Tim Walz said something wrong about Tiananmen Square, and he this is what, like, you're not going to get this, like, Trump, like, it never loses, never admits he's wrong, never, will change his, it's just like, no. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that. I really do. So let me pray for everybody here. 3 hours. I've gone 3 hours. Dear Lord, thank you for all these friends on YouTube, Lord. I pray that you bless them, Lord. I pray that you would bless the atheist I met on Instagram, Lord. And I pray that you would show him something. Show him a sign, Lord. Give him something that's going to make him think. Just make him think his views, Lord. And why does he feel the need to say that all faith is wrong and to put me down for having faith in you, Lord? So I just pray that you would show him something. I pray you bless him. Lord, I pray for my friend Tanita in Louisiana, Lord. You know her need and her concerns, and I just pray you'd be with her and strengthen her and help her in this situation. Tanita's going through something, I can't really share it, but I just want to pray for her. Thank you for Amy being here, and I pray that you bless her and her family, or him and his family. I wasn't sure if that was a male or female name when you came in. I pray you bless Glenn and his family, and thank you for him being here. I pray you bless Brenda and her family and her grandkids and her kids, and keep her safe as she travels. I pray you be with Betty. I pray you be with Roy and Becky and guide them, and thank you for them. And I pray you watch over them and keep them safe and help all the things go well with their health and any issues there. And thank you. Bless their children and their grandchildren. I pray you be with Crystal, keep her safe as she travels and watch over her. And thank you for her being here. I pray you bless Elsa. Thank you for bringing Elsa through the storm. And I pray you bless her and watch over her and her family and her fur babies. I pray you bless Sylvia and her family, and thank you for her, and CW and Brenda. And I pray you bless Arnie and bless his channel and be with him and bless him and his family. Comfort him at the loss of his parents. I know that's been hard on him. He recently lost his mom and his dad. Not too far apart, I think, maybe a few years apart. I pray you bless Judy. Thank you for answering my prayers concerning Judy. I pray you continue to work in her life and guide her and be with her and comfort her. Thank you for her telling me. That's encouraging. And Lord, I pray for Linda. I pray for Bren. I pray for Paul. I pray for Mary. I pray you bless them, Lord. I pray that you would bless them in their lives, bless them in their families, Lord. I pray that they would see that that's not the way to get people on their side, by being sneaky and saying mean things and disrupting my life, Lord. So I just pray that you would help them, Lord. Help us all to be able to recognize when we do something wrong. And I thank you for Coda, Lord. Coda and the 12 steps and how they're helping me. And, I pray that we'd all be able to get along and love one another, Lord. We pray for other countries that are at war, Lord. We pray that you'd be with them and help them. Guide their leaders, Lord. I pray for Ukraine, Russia. I pray that whoever is in office, that you would guide them, Lord. I want Harris to win, Lord. You know that. I want there to be justice for Donald Trump. And I just pray that people would wake up and that there would be more unity in this country and love and accepting of other people's beliefs and all of that, Lord. Let's make America love again. Not hate. Help people to wake up to things they need to work on in their lives, things they need to let go of, things. Oh, goodness. Lord, I feel like the country does need you. I do feel that. And one side thinks that means voting Trump into office. And I don't agree, Lord. Just please help us to be informed, help us to vote, help us to appreciate the freedoms we have in this country. Thank you that this is not a war-torn country, Lord. I pray to be with people in the Middle East, in Israel and Palestine, Lord, and that you give those leaders wisdom, Netanyahu, and that they would release the prisoners, that they might. I heard something, Lord. I'm going to watch the news tonight. I heard something that they might. Yeah, it did really sound that way. Oh, yeah. Doesn't admit to any mistakes. Yeah. I think that was everything, Lord. And especially, I pray for my brother. I don't know who he's voting for, Lord, but I do love him. And I pray that you would protect him, that you would protect my nephew as they serve on the LAPD, that you keep them safe, Lord. I pray that you would bless him and keep him safe, Lord. Yeah, I just pray you would guide him into truth, and Lord, that he would be able to say, maybe admit things that is wrong, that you would somehow show him. I don't know what to pray, Lord, but I just pray that you would bless him, Lord. I pray also for my sister and her husband, my aunt and uncle, and my aunt and my cousin, and my cousin's family up in the Bay Area. I pray you bless them, Lord. I pray I might be able to get back in touch with my aunt, my mom's sister. I would really like to be in contact with her, Lord, and that we could get along, even if we are voting different parties, Lord. And my cousin, who I'm just like out of touch with, that I might get back in touch with her, if possible, Lord. I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Please bless anybody I missed, Lord. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot, Lord. So pray, vote, be informed, try to fact check everything. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to show you my flowers in the vase from my mom. This one's droopy. This one's droopy. That's my mom's vase. My brother's Mark's ashes used to be in this at one time. But yeah, I got these at King Supers. King Supers? Yeah, King Supers. All right. I'm going to let y'all go. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Roy. Yeah, I'm very passionate. I am. My friend today was like, yeah, talk about, I'm like, my views are going up, since I started talking about it. And she's like, yeah, talk about it. So yeah, I hope you watch Dana. But love you all. Yeah, that's what I need to pray for Dana. God bless Dana and her family and her kids and her grandkids. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. That's what I forgot to pray about. Dana, I said she's watching, but she hasn't got an account on YouTube yet. So I think that's everything. Y'all don't forget to pray, vote. I'm going to go canvas on Saturday. Or call canvas. It's canvassing. All right. Don't say that no one cares for you, because I do, and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you. Bye.